Hello, and welcome to the Wasteland Podcast. If you would like to be a guest on the Wasteland Podcast, please email me, wastelandpodcast@gmail.com. That is wastelandpodcast at what? Gmail.com. That's not the hard part to remember, is it? It's wastelandpodcast at the same email everyone uses. Like, literally, it is amazing that my Gmail account has a history of my entire life. Between all the accounts, I pretty much have a diary that a company has access to, which is fun. But that's not what the point of this podcast is it? No, it's about weight loss. And I had a pretty good week last week. I'm actually pretty happy about it. I had set a goal for myself. I wanted to lose 3.4 pounds. Why is that? Because it had been kind of slowing down a little bit. I didn't get fully stuck in a plateau, but I just noticed that it wasn't progressing the way I'd like it to. So I set that goal, and thankfully, most of the thanks goes to my girlfriend's kids, because they have just an insane amount of energy, just more energy than I've ever seen in any living thing. Like 7 a.m., just laps around the house for no other reason than it seems like they have fun just running. And I lost 3.4 pounds last week. So I'm down officially 120 pounds on the dot. And that's a crazy thing to say. I'm getting close. Let's see. I'm probably I'll tell you exactly. I'm 48 pounds, right? 48 would be, yeah. Yes. I'm 48 pounds away from having lost 50% of my weight. Wow, that's crazy. So yeah, if I get down to 168 pounds lost, that's my half of my weight. That's crazy. So in 48 pounds, I'll be what? I could have done this before, but I'm going to do it live on the air with you, because that's what happens when you don't prepare. Let's see, 216 minus 48. I could have done that without it. I'll be 168, but that's pretty much, I'd like to be closer to 150, but that's crazy. I'll lose at least half of my body weight, and it's great to see. I'm actually pretty happy. We'll see what happens today when I weigh in. I release this podcast the day I weigh in. Should have thought that through when I was scheduling things, but we're already committed now. So every week I get to give you a little bit of a delayed response. But I've started. I know I weigh in on Tuesdays, if you didn't know, and I normally around Saturday or Sunday will start checking in, seeing how I'm doing, and I haven't quite lost weight yet. I think by the end of today I will, and then I set a goal for this week of 2.5 pounds, and I did that because I had Jewish holidays twice last week and my girlfriend's birthday, so I wanted to be a little bit more conservative with the goal this week, and I had pasta. I had so much food this week. I had pasta. I did mess up. I definitely still have control issues. I see that's something that a lot of people talk to me about. Oh, Lee, you have so much self-control. No, I do not. I just don't allow it to happen at all. To me, what self-control means is that I could have like 2 Oreos and then just done now. I have to have no Oreos or all the Oreos. And what I did last week is I had a box of Cheez-Its, and not supposed to do that. I split it between 2 nights, but I should normally, what I do is, like I said, I have my cheat day-ish, my extra calorie day. People get upset with the word cheat day. On Tuesday, and then I just finished it on Wednesday because I wanted to. And I was really worried that was going to ruin my week. And then I had pasta on Friday because of my girlfriend's birthday. We went to an Italian restaurant, and that was really the only option. I did have a salad, though. But I've been good the rest of the days, and I've been sticking to my calories and my working out. So it just shows you that I can live how I want to live. I just have to not do it literally every meal every day forever. So I'm very happy about that. I will let you know how my weigh-in goes tomorrow next week. Um, and I'm just very excited to have my guest this week. My guest this week is Sally, um, and she hosts the Me Movement on the Mic podcast. And she has a bachelor's degree. If you go and check her out on Instagram, and please do that. She not only has the podcast, but she does virtual training online, and she is a Bachelor of Exercise Science. She's certified in app sports nutrition. I'm not sure what that means, but anything you can be certified in is great. And she is one of my favorite conversations that I've had on here, because she not only was she a thicker person as a child, her words thick, and I've heard that's a compliment though. I'm not quite sure. She was bigger as a child, and went to school for exercise science as a bigger person, not probably not as big as I was, but a bigger person, and just fell in love with getting healthy and being in shape and eating right. And she talks a lot about in this episode about how her family dynamics, about being Middle Eastern, and the food that is just always around and so much a part of their lifestyle, how to deal with that. And she talks also about once she got fit that she had trouble training heavy people because it would frustrate her that they weren't seeing the results that she thought they should see, and how she was able to adjust her point of view, and how she now today works and helps people like me lose weight. And she was just, there's something about Australia. I don't know what it is. If we have anyone else in here who's listening or watching from Australia, or if you are if you're in Australia now, that's great. If you are from Australia living somewhere else, there's something about every Australian that I meet that they just seem like the nicest people. And Sally is definitely one of them. Definitely check her out. Like I said, at me.movement on Instagram. She's the host of the Me Movement on the Mic podcast, where you can listen wherever you listen to podcasts. If you're listening right now, just go straight to that app and download the Me Movement on the Mic podcast with Sally. And I'm just so happy to have her on. I do want to thank very quickly our sponsor for this week, and our sponsor is Sheath Underwear. To celebrate my 100-pound weight loss, Sheath sent me their underwear because I got to look good. I got to look good, and all my other underwear was saggy. It looked like I had a boom boom in the diaper, but not anymore. Now with Sheath, and I love Sheath because they have a 2-pouch compartment. It's so comfortable, it's soft, and you look great. Do me a favor, go to sheathunderwear.com, check it out. You're going to see that this is not only an American company, but a veteran-owned company. U.S. Army soldier Robert Patton came up with the idea for Sheath Underwear on his second tour in Iraq, and he has taken that work ethic and what he's learned and applied it to this great company, and I'm so thankful to them for supporting me, and it would mean a lot if you could support them. Just go check it out. They have shirts, they have sweatshirts that are comfortable, they have a lot of great products, but trust me, check out the underwear, especially if you work out. It's good not to have stuff flopping around and making a whole mess of things. Go to sheathunderwear.com and use promo code Syatt. That's SYATT to get 20% off of your first order. That's 20% off of your first order. And don't forget, you're not going to need it, but if you have a problem with the order or if you're not satisfied, every order comes with the Sheath Underwear 100% money back guarantee. And what else do you need? If someone's going to guarantee that you're going to be happy or your money back, there's no risk. The only thing you're going to risk is that you didn't get it soon enough. Go to sheathunderwear.com and use promo code Syatt to get 20% off of your first order. Thank you very much for watching and listening, and thank you very much to Sally for coming on.
So I did my degree a long time ago, and during my degree, I was working in a gym, and I was like, "Oh man, I hate this. I'll never do PT. What a terrible job, you know." I just saw the hours that they work, and I just didn't like it. So I went straight into injury management, HR, so dealing with people who injured themselves at work. So I went straight into a corporate career that way. I worked for the government in Sydney. on
Okay.
the trains, and that was easy, breezy. It was just,
So,
safe.
so you always had like an interest in, I don't know if
Fitness.
medical is the right word, but like
Fitness.
physical stuff,
Fitness.
right?
Yeah, I did a degree in exercise and sports science, majoring in health promotion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So
Yeah.
are you someone, I mean obviously you're in very good shape. For everyone who's not watching, Sally is in amazing shape. She's wearing like a strongman bikini right now, or strong woman bikini. And she's also wearing a Vegemite hat, which is awesome. Um but were you ever big as a kid? How did you get into, how did that
Yeah.
become like an interest for you?
Ah, I always loved sport and fitness as a kid, but I was always a bit solid. I wasn't like the
That's a nice way
tiny.
of putting it.
Yeah, I was always
Mhm.
solid. Um, I was, I had a bum at a young age when it wasn't cool.
Oh, okay. How young are we talking here? Are we talking like 18, or are we talking like before that?
Younger, younger,
Okay, then
when
I'm not
you
gonna
were,
think about that then.
yeah, thanks.
That's not allowed.
Yeah, and even, as I got a little bit older, I was still a bit thicker, and I didn't know, like I come from a Middle Eastern background, and you know, um, we all we do is cook and eat. That's
Yeah.
what we do,
Yeah, and rice
and
and
that
hummus and
everything, all the delicious things that you can think of, that's what we do, and that comes from a place of love. And so like I'd go to school with like this mad lunch. Like mad means cool,
right.
basically.
Oh yeah, I thought it meant big, but okay, that's cool.
No, that's like so cool. And then, you got your, Anglo-Saxon or Aussie kids, white kids who had Vegemite. That's it.
That's all they had. And
So
what,
they
so
had
like what would be
all
like an
ham and
average lunch?
cheese.
Oh, that's
My
good
mum
too.
never did that. Yeah, no, it was
Well, now
all
yeah, no,
white.
if you're Middle Eastern, I don't think you're having ham and cheese.
No, no.
What's a normal lunch for you back then?
Back then it was like, have you heard of a thing called za'atar?
No.
Za'atar is basically oregano, and it's like a dip, oregano, sesame seeds, sumac, and they do it into a paste.
Oh,
And
that
when you
sounds
go to the
good.
bakery, they put it on a nice dough and they bake it.
Ooh.
So you get that, or you get something called lahamajin. It's like a pizza with
Oh,
meat.
okay.
So I was
I
having,
like both of those things. I like pizza and I like meat.
plus, you got your cucumber, your tomato on the side,
Oh
maybe
yeah,
with a bit of
we can
olives,
throw that out. We can just
with a,
pretend we ate that.
with a bit of olives, and then like this yogurt drink, which is soured. That's what we have.
Okay, all right. So you were a thicker kid.
Yeah.
Do you think you were fat, or were you just sort of like a little
Yeah,
husky?
100% I was, because I remember they used to do this weird thing where they thought they were taking care of you and your health. So they'd get a nurse in, and then they'd get you to come into a room one by one. They'd be like, okay, you get to weigh yourself in front of everyone.
Oh
So
no,
they'd weigh,
I would have
they'd
always
weigh,
been sick that day. I would have been like, no, I can't come to school today.
and then people would ask you, oh, what was it? And you're like, oh, I'm just a little bit overweight, because that's what the nurse said.
Oy.
So that's a big thing, like as a kid and as a female. I don't know about guys. I don't know, like
Well,
that's
I
a big
mean, I
thing.
don't think anyone likes being fat, but I was gonna
Yeah.
ask. I was gonna ask. Like, I feel like I've had girlfriends who like have told me like their parents would call them fat, or like say you're gaining weight, and like it's no way, like that's the thing. Like when you're fat, at least for me, maybe some people don't know, but I think everyone who's fat pretty much knows. It's not a secret, but it's to have it like shoved in your face is pretty rough.
Yeah, so that was a big memory. And also I remember in year five. So that's, I don't know what that is in your years, maybe 12 or 13,
Okay,
because what
so it's like
grade
fifth or
that
sixth
is.
grade
Yeah,
probably.
fifth. Yeah, yeah. Year five. And then, like when you leave school, people write in a little book.
Oh, yearbook. Okay, yeah.
Yearbook, yeah. Well, it wasn't a yearbook. It was just like this little notebook that everyone kind of had, yeah. And then this girl was like, "Oh, bye, fatso number two."
Oh no! Did you
I
kill
was
her?
like,
Did you hit
and I
her
was
over the head
like,
with a book?
"Bitch, you can't even speak. proper English. You got an accent.
Fatso number two. Why were you number two?
Because there was another girl who's number one.
Well, at least you weren't the number one, Fatso. Oh
Damn, I
my
should have
God,
been
that
number one.
it's amazing. Yeah, that's the other way to look at it. It's amazing how like we're kids for such a short time, but the stuff that happens to us then like still stings, and you like I don't remember stuff that happened to me 3 weeks ago, but I remember my thing, and I've said it before on this podcast, but I'll say it again. Is
Yeah,
I in eighth grade, for some reason, kids were singing "Your Body Is a Wonderland," that
yeah,
song, and this kid named Kevin went, "Stop, Lee! You can't sing this song. Your body's not a wonderland." And I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill you someday." But it like that's crazy. Okay,
yeah,
so you were 12 or 13
yeah.
when
And then the diets began then.
right
I,
right at that moment.
yeah,
Oh
it's like
no! I mean,
salad.
I guess it's good. I mean, I guess you seem happy now, so I guess it's good. But
Yep.
man, that's rough to. I mean, I guess I started. I mean, I went on diets 8 million times back then. So, um, do you, were you able to like keep it off once you lost it, or did it like go up and down, or?
I don't even know if I lost it. I think I was just like, hey, look at me, I'm doing this. And then mum's like, what are you doing? I made this food. All right. Then,
Oh, okay, okay. So I thought I was. I guess I assume. See, that's what you get when you assume. I assumed you were saying like that's when you start like lost the weight and got into fitness.
no, that was more consciously like, oh, I need to watch what I'm eating. Someone's watching me. The
Okay,
conscious part began,
right.
you know? I think it
Okay.
wasn't until I left school that I decided that I wanted to, get into the gym and then really look at food. And that's when,
So
I
you mean
lost the
when you
weight.
graduated high school,
Yeah, high school.
around
Yeah.
18? So
Yes.
okay, so you mentioned that you have a degree in
Yeah.
like the physical fitness area.
Mm.
Did you when you first went to college? Is that what you were going to study, or
Yes.
okay? So I guess the
And they were all fit. Back then, everyone that did a sports science degree was like an ex-athlete. So I'm here, chubby thing, my trackies, and everyone's like, and I went to a part of Sydney in a uni where it was just white people, no wogs, no ethnics. So it was
what
me and another girl.
what was the word you use?
Wog. It's a derogatory, it's kind of a little bit of a derogatory term that we kind of use amongst ourselves.
Okay, well then I won't use it. I don't want to get in
Okay.
trouble in Australia, but I've never heard that term before.
Yeah,
Okay,
wog, yeah. So I come from like the westish side where it's like all ethnics, great food, not a lot of white people. Probably we sound really loud.
sounds like a fun
Um,
time.
yes, we come from there. Go to this bit of a white privileged area where everyone's like had a silver spoon, fit as, I've never had salmon before. I don't know, they probably have salmon breakfast,
Yeah, it's
lunch, and
gross.
dinner.
No one likes salmon.
You know what I mean? I think it was
Right.
the first time walking through, and I was like, "Oh, what's that? It's a bagel. Never had a bagel before."
Oh well, that you're missing out on. But
Yeah,
so what if you were still a little heavier?
yeah,
What where did the interest in like because like for even for me right now, I just literally just got back from I do a walk twice a week, and I did that today, and it's not the worst thing I've ever done, but I don't enjoy it at all. I would much
yeah.
rather be sitting down eating snacks, watching TV.
Mm,
Like
mm,
what it seems like an interesting major for somebody who isn't super fit.
mm, mm. I don't know. I just wanted to because I come from my family who nobody went to university, so it was one of my subject. It wasn't one of my picks, so I picked it, and I was like, hey, like I like health and kind of food, and maybe I can make this work. So that's why I kind of picked it.
Okay.
I liked
And
some subjects. I liked sport.
okay.
Yeah.
And so when did you cuz I'm only seeing the top third of you, but you seem like you're in good shape. There, see, look, there you go. You got
Kind of. It's
you
not bad
could
lighting.
No, trust me, the lighting, they can't fake muscles. I draw them on with a marker. But
Okay.
when did you like decide to like really get more serious about your dieting and your fitness?
Probably about a year into my degree. I don't know, something just clicked. I joined the gym and then I just got into this routine. I saw the benefits. I started to look good. I started to get some more attention. I felt good. And yeah, that's how it's kind of started. It
Okay,
just
and
felt
like
good.
I know you mentioned at the beginning like of your schooling, people noticed you like is there because I don't know I came from like a video like visual media art degree, which is like a basically a communications degree, and everyone there is chubby. Not everyone, but like it's not it's just like no one really likes fat people, I guess.
Yeah.
But there's no real stigma against being big. Is it tough to like get into that field? Because I mean, you can be big and like eating, but still be into fitness. Is it tough being big in that field? Is that part of the reason why you decided to get in better shape?
Yeah, that makes sense because you're the odd one out. So you got to lift your game. I still had to do all the different activities that everyone was doing.
Right,
So I was a little bit slower or I couldn't be bothered, a little bit uncomfortable with the movements.
right.
So
Oh, I hate movements.
yeah,
Okay,
everything,
yeah.
everything, the chafing, everything.
Oh, don't get me started. I should have bought uh, stock in Johnson and Johnson for the baby powder that I and then it turns out it gives you like ovarian cancer, but luckily I
Oh
don't
no,
have
it's bad.
ovaries.
Get away
So
from it.
really, is it bad? I don't have ovaries though, so is it
Yeah,
still bad
well,
for
you
me?
don't know if it's bad for that.
Wait,
You don't know.
okay. I was about to say, I know. I'm
Yes.
pretty sure I don't have ovaries. I am.
If it's bad for that, it must be bad for other things.
Okay, well, I'm gonna pretend because I always have, I always have baby powder. I don't use it as much as I used to, but
Yeah,
God, when that chafing is the worst.
yeah.
Um, so you said you went and did like the corporate government job. When did you decide you wanted to get into like the personal training?
So yeah, I did the corporate role, and then we had a really big restructure at work, and I could have applied for my role, but during that time, I lost like my dad,
Oh, I'm so
and then I
sorry.
was like, thanks, and then I was like, oh, what the hell am I doing? Like he died from something that could have been really prevented really easily. It was just like high blood pressure, or it was just something. I'm not gonna say stupid, but really, really like
Preventable.
so minor compared to his life. Yeah, raising six kids, coming from a country where he didn't speak English. It's kind of like slipping on a banana peel and dying on with that. You're so healthy. I don't know. That's what I thought.
Yeah, no, it's
You know?
there's two sides to that coin
Yeah.
because and that's definitely part of the reason why I'm trying to lose weight is I don't want to die younger than I need to, but then and this is not a healthy way to think either though, but it's just I'll be honest is like whenever I was like at my heaviest eating whatever I wanted, you hear all the time of people dying at like
Yeah.
some like I had an aunt who was one of the healthiest people I know, always worked out, always ate right,
Yeah.
and in her early 50s unfortunately passed away due to
Mm.
cancer, and it's just so I would sit there eating my McDonald's being like, well, I'm going to die anyways. Who cares? But I mean it's you're
Yeah. I guess if
it,
your time's up, your time's up. That's it.
right.
You know?
I definitely do believe in that, but it's also yeah,
You want to take care of
it,
the vehicle. That's the thing.
right. And I'm not it's tough. I
Yeah.
and you mentioned in your email to me
Yeah.
that you had trouble when one of your clients, like when any of your clients couldn't hit the goals or gave up or all of that, and we'll talk about we'll get back to that. But
Mm.
I and what I'm honestly trying to do with this podcast is because for someone who's never been in shape, always been bigger, it seems like it's either it like it's sort of black and white. Like either you're fat or you're like in shape. But like if you're in shape, that means you're counting. I don't even know what macros are. I know kind of what they are, but like I don't like no carbs, no snacks. Like you can never have a candy bar, and I it's all mental because in theory, I was telling someone earlier today that I just saw a video that said the best way to lose weight is to eat like a dog, and what they meant by that was you have to have the same stuff every day, and that I
Mm.
mean that could be right or wrong, and but in theory, I understand that because I could have literally the same stuff every day, and it would be fine. I would be able to lose weight or maintain or even gain weight depending on what I was eating. But it's such a like you said earlier with like how you grew up. Food is such a pleasurable thing for
Yeah,
me and like for a lot
yeah,
of people
yeah,
that I am trying to take better care of myself and I want to get down to a healthier weight. But I see a lot of people, and whatever works for them is fine. But I see a lot of people who lose weight go the complete opposite route and turn into like these health. I was trying not to say the word nut, but it's not because it sounds bad. But they become obsessed the
obsessed.
other
Yeah,
way, and I don't think that's for me. I want to
no,
get
yeah.
down to a healthier weight. I want to be smarter about what I'm eating,
Mm.
but I'm always gonna like pizza, and I don't want to
Yeah,
never have
and
pizza
that's
again.
like that's life. That's being a human. I'm exactly like that. Like I competed. I did like three bodybuilding competitions, and
Wow.
that's like the most unhealthiest thing ever. People look up to the Instagram famous bodybuilders and 10% body fat, but that's like so unhealthy, not just to mention physically, but mentally, you
Right.
know?
Yeah, that
You
makes
don't
sense.
you don't have a life. If you had a partner, I feel sorry for that partner. My partner hated when I competed.
Okay.
Um,
Why?
Everything's
Because
mental.
you were eating like nothing.
Of course, can't socialize, and I'm very social. I like to hang out with my family, friends, and we can't do any. We can do it, but I'm going to be ordering something completely different, and you can feel the tension a
Right.
little bit.
No, that
Yes,
makes total sense. So how do you? I guess we should back up for a second.
yes,
And so take me through what I just said. I guess a little bit where when you first started out and you were dealing with clients like me who were either obese or had never worked out before.
yeah, yeah.
Why
Yeah, I
did
thought I thought
why did it
passion.
upset you so much?
I guess I thought like passion was just enough. It was enough. Like I've been excited and trying to help them, that was enough, but probably just turned them off. And I didn't really understand where they were coming from. I
Right.
didn't understand their journey. And remember, I was in that phase where I was like competing. It's like, oh, you can do it. And when you get on stage, they don't care if you had a bad day on stage. So if you get, because people would come, I've had a bad day, so I had a couple of wines or had this, and then I was like, well, if you're on stage, they don't care that. They'll just give you a zero. See you later,
Right.
you know?
Well, yeah, I mean and that's such a tough thing because like I saw and I never had anybody do this. I had people offer to train me and did train me who were very nice and never would ever do any of this. But I saw this other video. I spend a lot of time on social media. I saw this other video of this trainer who like ran into like one of his clients with her with her with it was his client and she was with her son and they were
Mm,
getting ice cream and
yeah.
he like knocked the ice cream out of her hand
Oh no, I
and
would
it's
never
just,
do that.
oh no, I'm sure you wouldn't. You're too nice, but it's I don't know. It's I you're coming at it from a place of like ice cream is bad for you. I understand that.
Yeah,
You never need to have ice cream, but as
but it
someone
tastes
who's
good.
it does it tastes great. Um, but I as someone who's lost and gained weight 8 million times throughout my
Mm,
life, you're not going to like if I was talking to someone who was going to train me and being on, like, the problem is it's sort of like dating at the beginning where
Mm.
like I'll just put myself in it. I'm super motivated. I want to get healthy. You're going to help me. I'll do whatever you say, but I'm kind of lying to you and to
Mm.
myself in a
Mm.
way. And
Yeah.
it's like if you want me to come, I and it must be very hard for trainers and people like you because you need to push me because I'm not gonna do it myself. I'm not gonna put myself through that. But there's a line that you really can't cross because, like,
Yeah.
for example, the last time, and it has nothing to do with you. The last time I worked out, I basically stopped working out because the trainer had an aerosol bike, the bike with the fan on it on the front,
Wow. Yeah.
and I
Okay.
hated it so
Yep.
much,
Yep.
and he knew that I
Did you
hated
tell
it.
him?
Oh yeah, he knew I hated it, and
Oh,
he
okay.
he wasn't being a jerk, but he was just like, "This is what we're doing,"
Okay.
and and there were other reasons. There was like
Yep.
someone else was like, it's and I know probably a lot of people who are listening to this podcast are big, um, but I had someone in my life who was like, "Oh, you gotta go to work out. You gotta
Yep.
do it. You can't, no excuses." And I was so unhappy just in general at that time.
Mm.
Like, I sort of rebelled against it, just either
Yep.
with with the workout and B with my friend telling me to go do it. And I was just like, well, I hate every second of it. And
So it
I was like,
sounded like you weren't ready.
I
No?
wasn't, but I also just, it's a mixture of not being ready and like sort of giving up in a way. And not sort
Mm.
of, I guess
Mm.
really giving
Mm.
up because I don't know. It's
Yep.
it's not hard to lose weight, but
The maintenance.
when
It's hard.
maintenance is very hard, is hard, but it's also when you, even though it's your fault or my fault that I gave up on the diet, it's it still does something to you mentally. You're like, I'm never gonna be able to lose the weight. Why am I
Mm.
even trying? Let me
Mm.
just get, like, I've had the thought where it's like, let me just get fat and I'll die of a heart attack in 6 years. Who cares?
Mm. Mm.
I'll enjoy the last 6 years I have. Um, and that's not a great way to think. But like, how have you been able to now, like, adjust how you work with people to like motivate them in one way, but then also work with their limitations?
I think number one is having an honest conversation with clients and just seeing where they're at, and then just, letting them know that it's not gonna end in 4 weeks.
Right.
Like, how long did it take you to get to this stage? Or I've been like that majority of my life. I said, well, it's going to take longer than you expected. And there's going to be times where it's going to be terrible. Like, I'll be honest with them. I'm like, this weekend I had the worst I had the worst food in the world. I had KFC, Macca's, Portos, all consecutively, and they're like, oh, like, I put it all over my social media. And then I was like, but the one thing that I kept consistent was my water and training because I enjoyed it. And so I'm like, if that's what you enjoy, what do you enjoy? What do you like? Some people say, I like playing tennis. I'm like, mad. Or I like walking my dog. Great. They get excited about it. They're like, wow, I can do that. I don't have to do a 6 week challenge where I smash myself for 45 minutes 5 days a week eating just broccoli and chicken. I'm like, no, you don't have to do that, because can you maintain it long term? They're like, no way. So
Right.
once they start to understand that it's their own personal long term journey, and they can tweak it along the way, they can be social, then it's more accepting, and all these little boundaries and blocks come down slowly, and all the emotional stuff begins. So
That's
that's
smart. I like it. It's what do you say to somebody like me who hates, I don't enjoy, I don't want to say that. I like riding bikes, but it's as an adult, it's kind of like there's nowhere really safe to ride it. I'm not gonna ride
yeah,
it on the street. I'll die in a second.
yeah.
I kind of like kettlebells, but and I had that was the best shape I ever got in as an adult was there was a kettlebell gym. I went 3 days a week, and it was
Yep.
awesome. But then unfortunately that closed, and I just don't have the motivation self to do it alone. Even though I
Mm,
used to have a full set, and now I
mm,
still have one. But I
mm.
do it. I do 100 swings twice a week,
Yeah,
and that's about it.
nice.
Oh, it's fine. But for someone who like even let me just put it simply like that, I really don't enjoy anything physical.
Yeah.
How do you? How would you? What would you say to me?
If you don't enjoy anything physical, I mean, you said to me you walk,
I don't
you know?
enjoy. I do it because I have to.
You
I
don't enjoy walking.
no. I would rather if I could be.
Yeah,
If
just
you could give me
nothing.
a pill that I could eat whatever I want and live till 70, 75,
Yep,
and not have like huge health issues
yep,
and like but the other part is, I mean, not to be crude, but
yep.
I'd like to have a relationship with a girl again.
Yeah, yeah,
But there are big people who have relationships, but then uh so
yeah.
that's not
So we
definitely
want to
gonna
make
hold you
it
back.
easier
But
for you.
yeah, oh, well, easier,
Yeah,
but it's also just like I think, and that's sort of my issue with a lot of the trainers that I've had
yeah,
is they
yeah.
excuse me, they enjoy it, and I've
I mean,
just to be
sometimes I don't
honest,
like working out. I get it.
right, well, I've like it's to the point when
Yeah,
I had someone training me for a while,
yeah.
and I would pray every time that I got to the gym that they wouldn't be there. I'd be like, oh, please let them like not
Oh
be
my
here today.
God.
Um,
Takasiki.
right. Oh my God. Or just like, or move to Australia. But yeah. I mean, is the how? Yeah. I
What am I
guess.
gonna say?
Yeah. Like
What am I gonna
how would you
say?
address that?
I'll just be like, look, let's even break it down. Let's like get you to take the stairs. Can you do that when you go? Can you walk places? Can you walk to the bus stop? Can you do you clean your own home? You know what I mean? Make it blast your favorite podcast or music and just clean that house once a week and do it really well. Like get down, scrub the floors. Like that's just daily activities making you move. That's like
Right.
sneaky,
Oh
you
yeah.
know?
No, I never thought about it. You're very sneaky.
Sneaky,
Um.
sneaky. Yeah, just things like that. If you say, Sally, I've cleaned my house once a week, but I've hit it for an hour and a half. Oh my gosh, or an hour, because it takes time to clean a house or an apartment, And I'm not talking about just this bullshit kind of wiping. I'm talking about scrubbing.
I
Yeah.
don't like that
What
either, but
what kind of
but
would you like music? What kind of music do you like?
right.
Put it blast it. Um, that's and you know what? Sometimes you're not gonna like certain things, okay? But you're gonna have to do, take the initiative, be an adult, and you're gonna have to do some stuff, you know?
Right.
It
Oh,
does,
no, you're absolutely right.
it's like you don't like to get I never like to get up 4 in the morning and work, but I know that I had to do it to get to a certain stage. What happens when you don't do your homework? Or what happens when we, I didn't get up onto this call and I snoozed,
right.
just little things.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely, and that's it's something that I still struggle with.
Yeah.
It's tough to accept that you're not gonna like everything in life, and it's like
Yeah.
part of me goes, and I still believe it, but it's like part of me is like, oh well, why not? Why can't I do everything that I want to do? But it hurts other parts of your life when you only do things you want to do, and it's something that I very much struggle with. Sally, I want to thank you very much for coming on. I know you mentioned that you do virtual training. If someone either in Australia or around the world wanted to check you out, how can they? Do you have social media? Do you have a website? Where can people
Yeah,
find you?
I have a website, me-movement.com.au, or you can find me on Instagram. That's probably the easiest thing at me.movement.
Okay, I like it. And let's just say there's another Sally out there, and she's interested or he's interested in becoming a trainer. Do you have any advice for them?
Just do it now. Because I always had a fear I wasn't good enough or I needed more qualifications. Just start now. And then you grow along the way. You'll be the best. That's it.
Awesome. I love it. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Sally.
Thank you.
Thank you so much to Sally for coming on. like I said, check her out on Instagram at me.movement and on any podcasting platform, the Me Movement on the Mic podcast. She's a great lady, a great person. I'm so happy for all of her success. Very hard worker. And if you need a trainer, especially virtually, check her out at me.movement on Instagram. Send her a message. Tell her that you found her on the Wasteland podcast and how nice of it was for her to wake up so early and spend time with me. Thank you for watching and listening. I really, if you're out there losing weight or just getting healthier in another way, or even if you're not, even if you're just supporting me, thank you. I really, really genuinely appreciate it. And I appreciate your continued and never-ending support. We can't stop listening now. We're on this together. Thank you very much. Thank you to Sheath Underwear. Like I said, go to sheathunderwear.com and use promo code Syatt to get 20% off of your first order. That's sheathunderwear.com using promo code. What is it? It's Syatt. That's it, Syatt. And thank you again for watching and listening, and I'll be back next week with the Wasteland Podcast.